Talking about today is at the top. It is on the top banner headline of the Wall Street Journal. The U.S. economy extends growth streak. The next president inherits, this is the headline, quote, a remarkable economy. Let me just read you the first two paragraphs. Whoever wins the White House next week will take office with no shortage of challenges, but at least one huge asset, an economy that is putting its peers to shame. With another solid performance in the third quarter, the U.S. has grown 2.7% over the past year. It is outrunning every other major developed economy, not to mention its own historical growth rate. And Willie, the Wall Street Journal concludes, this is not happening by magic. It's not happening because of government intervention. It's happening because American people and American businesses are more productive today than ever before.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the front page, as you said, of the Wall Street Journal. U.S. economy extends growth streak, growth 2.8%, pushing up against that 3% number. We'll get an inflation number today and then that jobs number tomorrow, all just days ahead of the election. And that doesn't even count in, Joe, the mothers and the fathers fighting each other in the halls of Toys R Us, trying to get that Steve Rattner Cabbage Patch. Ugly scenes, frankly, but it's where we are as a nation.
They're so cute. I love them.
No, fist fights in the aisles. Let's go right to Steve Rattner, joining us with charts breaking down the surging American economy. Is former Treasury official, Morning Joe economic analyst, and matinee idol, Steve Rattner. Steve, good morning. It's great to see you. So let's dive right into your charts. U.S. economic growth, as we just pointed out, leading the world. We've heard this, by the way, from economist after economist, Republicans even conceding, many of them, that at this moment, the American economy is, in fact, the envy of the world.
Well, Willie, first of all, I have to say I've been called a lot of things in my life. Matinee idol is a new one. I'm going to put that up on my blackboard at home. And,
you're like Leif Garrett.
Yes, yeah. I'm so flattered. And Cabbage Patch dolls, you know, those are the ones that cause the economy of up 2.8%.
There you go.
But anyway, let's put this in a little historical perspective. And we're going to compare the U.S. to the other major economies of the world. And you go back to 1980, you can see the growth rates weren't all that different. But around the 2000 period, we just took off. And we left them in the dust. We've continued to leave them in the dust. And in fact, the IMF last week came out with new projections that show that our growth is going to accelerate even more relative to these other countries. And let me also, though, since we are going to have an election next week, do a scorecard here on the last two presidents. Donald Trump thinks this economy is in the toilet. In fact, under Joe Biden, it grew faster than it did under Donald Trump. 3.1% average GDP growth under Biden. 2.8% under Trump, and this corrects for all the COVID things. These are straight down the middle of the fairway numbers. And then you can see that growth, in fact, has turned into a much stronger economic performance for average Americans. GDP per capita is a way to think about standard of living. Not perfect measure, but it's directionally right. You can see that we generate $74,000 of GDP per person, and that has doubled over this period of time. And then you can, and no other country has come close to that, 54,000, 46,000. And so from 1983 to 2023, we doubled this. And we are, again, as you said earlier, the envy of the world when it comes to the standard of living that Americans have.
And, Steve, there's something for everything in your charts, including billionaires who really need to take note. For some reason, they think Trump's the answer, which is laughable. But there's also something here in your next chart for hardworking Americans looking for a break because they're dealing with inflation. Inflation numbers and unemployment numbers, how are they looking?
Yeah, look, we had inflation. Nobody can escape that fact. But let's put that in perspective as well, because our inflation was, in fact, less than inflation that occurred in the EU and in the United Kingdom. We didn't go nearly as far up as they did, and we've all come back down now, and our inflation is just around the Fed's 2% target, and also in line with other countries, and so our inflation has become well controlled. But because of our strong growth, we have a much different unemployment picture than the EU has. We have 3.7%, had 3.7% average unemployment in 2023, not that far off of the UK. But look at the UK at 6.7%. If you're looking for a job, would you rather be looking for a job in the United States? Would you rather be looking for a job in Europe?
And then your last chart, Steve, is looking at what's fueling the U.S. economy.
Yeah, a good part of what accounts for all that growth that I showed you a little while ago is the enormous investment that's been coming into the U.S. The U.S. is considered the most attractive country, major country in the world to invest in. And you can see, again, that our investment pace kind of tracked the EU well ahead of the U.K. and Japan, but tracked the EU for a long time. And then we took off and went in our own direction. And again, the projections show that we're going to continue to outstrip Europe and the rest of the world in terms of investment growth. And let's do the scorecard here. Biden, 9.4% average annual investment growth over his term. Trump, 3.9%. So when Trump says he's the president that brings back investment, brings back jobs, he's wrong. It was the things that were passed in the Biden administration, the Inflation Reduction Act, the bipartisan infrastructure bill, and the CHIPS Act, three major pieces of legislation that brought investment back. And that has all made the stock market very happy, as you know. The stock market has roughly up 51% under Biden, up 44% under Trump, and is, again, way outstripped other countries. And so business may say that they have concerns about Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, but in fact, under their administration, they did better as stock market investors than they did under Trump.
All right. Morning Joe economic analyst Steve Rattner, thank you very much for bringing us the facts. We really appreciate it.